Hey everybody, welcome back. And a couple weeks ago I put up a video asking what does $95 get you in the beginning travel credit card space. I'm talking about cards like the Chase Sapphire Preferred, the Citi Strata Premier, the Wells Fargo Autograph Journey, and the Capital One Venture. More on that in just a second. So when the Autograph Journey launched, there was the immediate responses of, yeah, don't get this card, it's not worth it, this, that, and the other. I did a video highlighting that the other $95 cards don't give you a whole lot. Now, we've had the Citi Strata Premier launch in the way that it did, and I wanted to come back to this question and ask a more rhetorical question of, what if Wells Fargo had jumped out with a $150 annual fee? Would Strata Premier have come out with more bells and whistles? Would there be more on the horizon for the Sapphire Preferred? Because while Wells Fargo answered the call at $95 and did so, I think, pretty well, not necessarily a card I'm going after just yet, but very much a card I would consider, I'm wondering if coming out at $95 stifled Chase and Citi from potentially offering more with their cards, and you're just going to see refreshes like you saw with Strata Premier that kind of just tick the boxes that they need to tick and then move on. And I don't know what that means for Chase. And the reason why I'm highlighting these three in particular, I put up another poll asking what the best $95 annual fee card is. Obviously, the Sapphire Preferred came in first because mindshare. The Strata Premier came in second. Wasn't completely surprised by that one. And then the Wells Fargo Autograph came in third. Also not surprised there. And the Capital One Venture card came in last at 2% in the poll that I did. And I think for all intents and purposes right now, I'm just going to keep these discussions on the entry-level cards to Wells Fargo, Citi, and Chase. Because the Capital One Venture card, really the first question you have to ask if you're considering that card is, why am I not applying for the Venture X? The Venture X is their beginner travel credit card, because they put the Venture X in a category where it's more advanced than the basic travel credit cards, but it's not to the level of the American Express Platinum and the Chase Sapphire Reserve. So that card, as long as they're doing the travel credit or, well, travel rebate in the travel portal, and they're giving you the 10,000 points a year, why would you take the Venture card over the Venture X? So until they do something interesting with the Venture card, it's really hard to put the Venture card up in competition against the other cards. And I understand the Venture card came out, and when it came out, it was a 2x everything card, which was better than some of the competition. But if I say that the Sapphire Preferred has aged terribly, the Venture card has aged like Casu Marzu. Not great. So I'm going to leave the Venture card alone until Capital One remembers it exists. I'm sorry. And I'm going with these three and not adding in American Express, because American Express doesn't compete at the $95 level since moving the green card up to $150. And the green card is weird because at $150, its earnings, you're buying access to membership reward points. You're buying access to those. You're not getting the green for its strong multipliers, even though it's a more consistent everyday card than the gold and the platinum. But you can get the exact same multipliers on the no annual fee Wells Fargo Autograph card. I am in no way saying get the autograph over the green if you want American Express partners. But $0 annual fee card hits all the same categories as the $150 card. Now, the $150 card comes with a clear credit valued at $199. Automatically pays the card's annual fee off from there. And it comes with Lounge Buddy. I don't know the intricacies of Lounge Buddy. I don't know that it's necessarily worth it, but it's there. But Clear will pay off the green card and make it a net negative annual fee, in the term that nobody likes to use of effective annual fee, but everybody uses the credit as a way to sell the card. So I don't necessarily want to compare these cards to the green card, because the green card is at $150 and these cards aren't at $150 yet, whereas they probably would have been at $150 if not for the Autograph Journey launching. So Autograph Journey kind of kept everybody the same because nobody wanted to be the first one to jump to $150 without fully justifying it. Justify may not be the right word, but without offering the credits and the necessary changes to go up to $150, right? Whereas Wells Fargo could have been the first one in, but they would have had a harder time getting people to accept the autograph journey if it had been 150 and it launched the way that it did. Now, I think Wells Fargo's travel protections are right there, pretty close to Chase's and better than Citi's. I don't know that Citi just adding travel protections was enough. I wanted to see Citi. I would have liked to have seen Citi come out with travel protections that were challenging Chase. And from the look of things, it didn't really look like it was. But also, at the end of the day, who's really using their travel protections? They're only there in the absolute, oh, shoot moment, right? So if you're not in that oh, shoot moment, how important are they? And wouldn't you just buy an extra $40 for Allianz insurance if you really weren't sure about something for that trip, right? So the rhetorical question I've been asking myself is, what happens if Wells had started at 150? Would the Strata Premier look different than it ended up looking, where Strata Premier was pretty much copy and paste from Premier and just add in some travel protections where some is better than none, because that was the biggest complaint, and they added EV charging. EV charging still not completely ubiquitous. It's getting better, but I don't know that EV charging and some travel protections was... I know it wouldn't have been worth a $50 increase to the annual fee or a $55 increase to the annual fee. So I'm wondering if there was something else that they were looking to do. And because Wells Fargo came in at 95, they couldn't go to 150, right? So that kind of leads me to wonder what Chase will end up doing at 95. Because Chase has the leading travel protections. They have primary CDW. They have the worst earning categories of those three cards. Like the Sapphire Preferred is not an everyday card. It is a card that you throw in your junk drawer and you let the Freedom Unlimited and the Freedom Flex or the OG or the original Freedom card do all the heavy lifting. And if you have ink cards, you let the Ink Unlimited or the Ink Cash do the heavy lifting for you. And for $95, you get to transfer out all your points. It's a weird, stupid tax at $95. And Citi is also another kind of $95 tax just to gain access to all of their transfer partners. They have no annual fee cards that transfer at terrible rates. So to get the full smorgasbord, you have to pay $95, right? Whereas with Wells, you don't have to pay $95 to get the full charcuterie board. You just have to have the autograph card. And I think Wells is really smart there. And Wells is even smarter for doing its 1 point to 1 point conversion. Citi and Chase, I believe both of them require at least 1,000 points to move over. And sometimes you don't want to move 1,000 points. You only need to move 200. And it's not really an option with Chase and Citi, but it is an option with Wells. So there you go. Wells can at least be a good feeding system or tertiary system or secondary system to the others. And I don't know that they're going to stay in that position. Just, again, we're waiting for so many more transfer partners, and we need them yesterday. But I'm left wondering if maybe 150 should have been the place where Wells Fargo had started and come out with a stronger card at 150, especially to address things like maybe mobile wallet or a grocery category, because there's no grocery category across any of their cards, or not keeping so many things from autograph on autograph journey. But its calling card is being the best card for those who have to pay their way for work, but work will reimburse them. They absolutely should get the autograph journey because they'll book directly with the sanctioned airline. They'll book directly with the sanctioned hotel and get 5 and 4 points for those purchases. If I'm someone who I have to pay out of pocket, but my job will reimburse me, I'm getting the autograph journey or the American Express Platinum, depending on how crazy busy my life would be, right? But the autograph journey fits in there at $95 really well, compared to the other two that require you to max out your point potential through their travel portals. So I'm curious what could have been done at 150 for Wells Fargo to come out. Was there a world where they had things at 150 and they were just not willing to go there because they're Wells Fargo and no one was going to want to do a 150 card with them first without having a comparable card to Chase or Citi? I'm wondering if this has also led Citi to come out with just copying and pasting instead of maybe having more innovation in their card. And what it may have had Chase do when they first saw these cards come out, because I think the first reaction was, oh, we've got to put hotel on as the Freedom Flexes, one of the Freedom Flexes categories. Maybe it stopped them dead in their tracks from they were going to go to 150 because other American Express cards that were 95 had gone up to 150. Like the Delta Gold card was 99, it went up to 150. The Hilton Surpass card was 95, it went up to 150. The Hilton Honors Business card was 95, it went up to 195, so on and so forth. The Delta Business Gold went up to 150 as well. So when American Express did those things, they added more credits, and they made credits relatively strong enough to justify those annual fee increases. Was Chase going to go down the same path? And were they stopped by the Wells Fargo autograph card, the autograph journey? Or was Wells Fargo going to go to 150, but they knew they were going to have a marketing problem? I don't know. Because it just feels like Citi could have done a lot more and gone up to 150 and been able to justify 150 with some other credit or something else. But they chose to hang back at 95 because they didn't want to be the first mover. So are they waiting for Chase to be the first mover now? Chase now looking at these two card updates and saying, well, if we're going to update the Sapphire Preferred, we have to stay at 95? I don't know. And so this has just been grinding away, and this is going to be one of those unscripted video or unedited-ish videos where I just go off on this tangent or these tangents. But I'm stuck wondering if any of these three companies was willing to go to 150, but they were held up by the first mover paradox. So because they weren't willing to, they didn't, but if they had, maybe they would have gotten more fanfare. Or maybe Chase still goes out, brings the Sapphire Preferred up to 150 and offers Sapphire Lounge passes, or gives the Sapphire Preferred global entry TSA, or I don't know, right? But it's interesting to wonder what happened there. Now, Strata Premier at 95, I didn't like the launch. I like the card. Autograph Journey, I like the card. I would have wanted more, and I'm still waiting for more transfer partners. And the Sapphire Preferred is, well, everybody defaults to it, whether it's primary CDW, it's Chase's insurances, it's the ability to unlock Chase's transfer partners, the artificial scarcity of 524. I don't know offhand what it is that makes the Sapphire Preferred still the best, because it's intrinsically not. It's worse than the other two cards, but because the other two cards don't have the mind share of the Sapphire Preferred, they couldn't push the envelope to go to another place. But I do like what they were able to do. So it's weird. But it's just one of those let me contemplate out loud type videos. And if you have any thoughts on these, let me know down in the comments. But it's a weird thing to think about. But that's going to do it for this one. If you like what I do, hit the like button, hit subscribe. Check out some other videos on the end card. That'll be over here-ish, I think. Thank you so much for watching. Check out the pinned comment for other ways to support me. There's my Ko-fi, my Buy Me a Coffee. There's a link tree for various referrals. There's my Built referral and some Chase referrals as well. If you want to hit those up, be a huge help to me. If not, definitely check out my Ko-fi and Buy Me a Coffee, or hit the super thanks button. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.